Okay, the southern map opens up and we want to do the same thing, double envelopment. It's very easy to get a double envelopment and get everybody to the south. And then we're just going to sit patiently and wait until the map opens up. My supply wagon wants to go and join the other side. Traitorous. My other supply wagon wants to join the other side for some reason, not sure. Yeah, your units will go in weird directions when they come in. It's like the game assumes you're going to go straight for the victory locations, which would be suicidal. Don't do that. Okay, I turn these units sideways and we just want to get south as fast as possible around that prepared position and come up behind it with one unit, and then that's over. So we're going to lose a couple hundred men. Those units are 2450 because they're CS Richmonds. I made a mistake making them 2450. I should have had, instead of putting all my weapons, my CS Richmonds into the units, I should have had a few back in reserve. That would have been a much better plan. And for some reason, my unit wants to just start moving, stop facing the enemy. So okay, we lost a few there. We're going to lose a few more. So we lost 48 men. That's not that bad, because all we have to do is get around behind this guy and the battle's over. But really, this is the highlight of the enemy phase. This is the enemy high point. So I send a detached skirmisher. No, that'd be a detached skirmisher, or 2 or 3, to take some hits. Yeah, he's clearly degraded right now. He's doing the little puffs of smoke thing, and he's gone. And that was his only chance. This guy's gonna fold. Yeah, I have one Whitworth unit that took a hit. He was in the front, going up the side, and he took a hit. So that's the one unit that took losses I didn't expect. He's down to 338. I'm attacking this guy with 2-star infantry, so They didn't take very many losses, and the enemy's out of there. Now his flank is gone. This is now a done deal. He's going to keep trying to come into the fortification that's just to the north. So I'm going to put a 24-pound howitzer and a 20-pound Parrott, because just for the next 2 hours we'll get easy kills, whoever goes in there. I'm going to leave one sniper behind to take cheap shots on him. That should be his last cheap shot on my infantry. That was a surprise. "24-pound howitzer is about to get up, so don't want that infantry to stay there in the open." So he took probably 2 shots too many that were unnecessary. So I have him fall back, move up a Whitworth, and for the rest of the battle we'll just get free kills as he keeps putting units in there. So this is a better setup: an infantry in the woods, 24-pound howitzer, a 20-pound Parrott behind that, both getting exploding shell range, a sniper, and that just will keep tearing him up. So that's done. Now to get everybody, look at the strategic map, everybody's moving into Washington. The guys on the right side of the map are not going to Washington, they're going short of Washington. Just hug the edge of the, stay in the woods to the south, stay out of sight. He does have the ability to hit you with a couple shots of artillery as you do this, but we're going up to the river on the right side and stop, and these guys are going to occupy Washington itself, so it'd be pretty much a straight line waiting for the map to open. So there's nothing in there. I have plenty of time, so I'm just being cautious. We're going to lead with snipers and detached skirmishers, and try to stay out of sight so his artillery can't hit me, which turns out to be very easy. His artillery can't reach my units on the left, so they can just fire all day. It's perfectly fine. But he can reach my units in Washington, and he can reach my units to the right side of Washington. So just being a little cautious. We have plenty of time, hour 35 minutes. But that's all we're going to do. We're just, everybody goes south, everybody takes up position, wait patiently for the map to open up. Get everybody, and you see me do this, like take an hour and just move everybody into an attack position. So yeah, I get comments, doesn't look like legendary, or you made the battle look easy, something. A lot of the time what makes the battle look easy is you win the battle in camp, and then the battle itself is not about finding the enemy and attacking him, it's about maneuver. So 90% maneuver, 10% combat. So I'm maneuvering the enemy, I'm maneuvering into a position the enemy has no chance. So when this attack happens, every one of his units, almost every one of his units will get hit with fire from multiple directions. So I'm taking maybe an hour to do that, maybe an hour in-game just to get into position. Maneuver, 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 and then attack. I would argue that the weakness of the AI is that the AI can't respond to these kinds of strategic movements. So yeah, I noticed that he was hitting my units as they were crossing here, so I have units go further south. So just have them run. We're going to have plenty of time to rest. I haven't sped this up. This is just in-game gameplay. Yeah, so I'm going to have them run across the open area, get into the woods to the left, and get ready to attack. So my plan is to come up to the fort with a lot of infantry and roll the 24-pound howitzers up and degrade the fort. Once again, the enemy is going to crumple faster than the 24-pound howitzers can move. Okay, I noticed that he can see my units in the town. Maybe we'll back up a little bit. We're not interested. I'm thinking he probably has someone in that prepared position. Maybe I can get some cheap shots on him. But it might just be better to fall back, and maybe if I get a sniper up there to take cheap shots, that would be fine. We have an hour left. Yeah, I'm paying attention to where these units are unseen. It doesn't really matter where, just get them out of sight. Yeah, that's fine. I can't see the enemy, but my sniper can for some reason, so we'll just do that. The artillery that you hear is actually my artillery hitting his guy hitting his unit to the left. Yep, free shots all day. We can do that all day. Yeah, and I could have actually placed all these guys on run because, as you can see, they're going to have lots of time to recoup condition. I mean, it's just... Okay, are you firing at somebody? So I don't think he's firing, so I'm going to move him up, see if he can find somebody to shoot at. Yep, there we go. He's in a building in Washington firing at an enemy infantry unit facing the wrong way. Lovely. Yeah, that works. Free shots all day. So we can speed this up, so I've set it to a bit faster. So he has 33,000. And my army is close to 200,000, so yeah, this probably isn't going to go well. Okay, it's almost 1700. I have it on the fastest speed. We have 5 in-game minutes. And this ends the most boring phase for viewers of the Battle of Washington ever. But oddly, I think this is the smartest way to play this phase. Okay, the fort must fall. So now begins the desperate the fight for... Oh, there's nothing there. Okay. We must prevail in the northern sector. I guess we will then. Okay, what you want to do here is you want to run everybody to the south because everybody gets all of their condition back. It's 1700. You get 100% of your condition back. There's absolutely no reason not to run to the south. But I don't do that. I have my units park and recover condition at the victory location in the north. And that's a mistake. You should have them run, do not walk, run every unit to the south because you have 2 hours and 56 minutes to do nothing but get your army south. And they will have 100% condition when the entire map opens up. If you do this before 1700, like I did, you take them in the previous phase, you take the victory location. Now it's going to count down 34 minutes, and then we're going to go back to the south. Yeah, my units, see, I don't know that. I think it's better to have my units recover some condition and then move south, but it is not. That is a mistake. Get everybody moving south. And what I need is infantry over here. This area right here, there's no infantry, and I need infantry over there. Because I don't have infantry over there, I'm going to have to finesse it with cav, which works out, but the attack would have been a little bit smoother if I'd had infantry. And the other thing is, if I'd had my infantry further south with 100% condition, they wouldn't have had to have moved so far just to get to the battle. So going to day 2, everybody would have had more condition. So by starting with 100% condition on the south edge of the map, everybody would have been better for day 2. The only thing to be aware of is the area we're looking at right now. To the left side of the map, the enemy artillery in the victory location can hit you. Well, it can hit you if you're too far south. So you might want to be pulled back just a little bit. Maybe only as far as the start of the wood line. If we go back over there, I'll show you what I mean. But just basically pulled back to where the 24-pound howitzer and the rifle cav are. Like maybe that far. So that the artillery, so your infantry is in place, and you can see what you want to hit, and you can advance with detached skirmishers, and all of the infantry can advance safely behind the detached skirmishers to the fort. Yeah, this is a mistake. I should have had all these guys running. I didn't know this. I thought the condition would just carry over. We have 14 more minutes in game. So what I'm doing is I'm going through guys that have close to 90 condition. I'm having them walk south. 10 minutes in game. They're not going to get very far. Yeah, the problem is the right side of the map. That's a long way. They're not going to get there. Yeah, I should have had the guys in the north move south, and the guys that were already on the bottom of the map move to the right side of the map. Those guys that are down in the center there, that started there, could have moved to the right. So, but I was more concerned about getting everybody's condition to 100. I should have 5 20-pound parrots. 2, 4. Yeah, it should be 5 20-pound parrots to the north, to here in this sector. Yep, and there we go. So now we go back to the... So those were 2 phases with not a whole bunch of action, but everybody's in place. Okay, the map opens up. 1740. He has 33,000. I have 188,000. That's because everybody didn't come in. So everybody needs to start moving south. I'm going to move along that tree line is going to give me cover on the left side of the map, so start pushing there first. Yeah, I'm not putting up with this guy. I was thinking about waiting a little bit to get the rest of my army up and online, but there's plenty of units here. And he only has 33,000 men, so I'm not pushing on the fort on the left side yet. I want to destroy everybody to the right of that first. Oh, the artillery's moving. Ah, that infantry unit just walked into a trap. Yeah, this guy decided he wanted to return. He wanted to cross the river and return. I'm not having it. Okay, you can see the units in the south are moving forward. I don't want to attack here in the center until my units in the south come up and hit them from behind. So we just stay in the woods and wait a little while. That one guy's a little too far forward. So I've sent a melee cav from the south up, and I have 6 cav to the north. I would like to have more infantry there, but didn't get them into position. So we'll see what the cav can do on its own. Turns out it's pretty good. Okay, he has 4 infantry units that are kind of all getting shot up. And look what he has in the fort. Okay, we're going to close the vise on these guys. Four units flashing white in the open. Yeah, this is time to just harvest those guys. Okay, my units in the south are coming up. We're going to hit these guys from behind. My units from the north are getting into position. So they're going to get hit from 2 sides. Okay, on the far right, that's actually a melee cav, making very short work of those guys in the open. Trying to not fire into the combat with my rifle cav. We're just going to roll right over the fort at this point. Infantry rolling up north and south, going to hit this fort. He only has 1 infantry and 2 artillery in there. And now I can hit him right side, left side, top and bottom. All these units here, because I stayed in the woods to the north, they're surrounded. All the units to the far left, look, they're surrounded. There's 2 tiny pockets. These guys get hit north and south. They just surrender. That infantry's doomed. I've decided I'll charge him if nothing else. So he's not going anywhere. These guys closer to the fort, they're completely surrounded. You don't have to actually charge these guys, just walk into them and, you know, it's just... These guys are surrounded. One last infantry unit. No, 2 infantry units and artillery, but the artillery's doomed. Yeah, they do not do well if they take shots from 2 sides. Melee, perfectly happy with melee. Should have 2-on-1. That should be over very quickly. Yep. So one group of infantry to the south here is taking fire from multiple directions. The fort is a done deal. His 1 unit is holding out, but he's going to take fire from the flank and rear in a second. I just get him into melee. Two artillery units, we can grind them to death. Those are easy kills. The guys in the south are completely surrounded. Flashing white. Having melee cav get over there just in case one of them happens to just flee in a direction. It makes it difficult. Yeah, the FPS falls to about 6 when this happens. Okay, his infantry in the fort surrendered. Now there's just artillery up there. This infantry unit's making a run for it, but there's 2 melee cav. No, 1 melee cav, and he just touches him and he surrenders. So that's what the melee cav is for. You think you're going somewhere, the melee cav has something for you. And I was moving more melee cav into position to the south if he made it through that. Yeah, let's see how the melee cav does. Okay, melee cav is in action. And surrender, surrender, and yeah, we've got 2-on-1. And he's gone. So, oh, I almost fired into that with my rifle cav. That would have cost me 10 men unnecessarily. And with that, they are all gone. So you count down 23 in-game minutes, or 28 in-game minutes. That's it. There is nothing left. So 0 soldiers and 0 guns. Fourth and Fifth Corps didn't take many losses. Yeah, we have 6 frames per second. This is not good. So I put everybody on hold. Hopefully they'll recover some condition. Now there's a very, very long loading screen. And you might think, so I saved at 1 minute till, just in case things went badly and the game crashed. But it's just a very long loading screen until you go back to camp. So just be aware, don't panic, just let it do its thing. Yeah, it's more than 2 minutes later. It's a long time. Okay, the enemy has 177. I think that's about normal. And I have 192. Okay, 192. And I'm going to put another 1,200 into my army. So 193.8. Almost 194. Now he's going to get reinforcements in terms of units counterattacking. That army looks good. I'm going to have to move units around though. I'm going to put full-size units on the front line, units that are more shot up to the rear. I lost 2 officers, which isn't bad. Look at all those 2500s. 2450, 2500. Yeah, I can't put majors in that infantry unit. Too bad. Yeah, I just needed a couple more lieutenant colonels, generals. Yeah, instead of grinding 2-star generals, I would have spent my time grinding lieutenant colonels, brigadier generals. That's what you need for Washington. Don't mind the lieutenant colonels for my 24-pound howitzers. I expect those guys to take losses. On day 2, I expect them to get into a lot of fighting. Didn't expect a lot out of them on day 1, but on day 2, the enemy's going to attack me. That's what the 24-pound howitzer is for. So, First Corps took the hits, but still, it's really good. That guy took some hits, so he will either get a couple hundred men, go back to 2100, or go to the rear of, go to 5th Division of 5th Corps. And that's why you need an empty slot in your army so you can move men around. So that's it for day 1. I'll see you in the next video.